This is Eric Muathe at Muathe.com. All is well as we begin a new month of September 2020. We continue seeing the market essentially as far as the NASDAQ and S&P 500. We see the market continuing to push to fresh all-time highs. And what that means is there is a ton of stocks that are moving. And some of them have tremendous momentum if you know how to time them. And just as we see in life, which in a way the stock market is an extension of life, it is a season of plenty. So when there is a season of plenty, the best thing to do is to play momentum moving instruments, and you can find those by way of the breakout strategy as one of the approaches. Of course, today being the first trading session, one of the stocks that's moving higher, the most in the US market, ZM, it is moving up about 38%. In this video, I want to discuss the concept of understanding how to time instruments after 1 month of rest. Again, as we begin a new month, some instruments have settled for 1 month and might be set to break out again. So here we can see in this particular instrument, there was a rest period. It is important to understand as far as the monthly time frame is concerned, we only need 1 down month, just one. And any breakout past the prior monthly closing high gives that a fresh look, a fresh reason to start building to the upside. Now we can see here the month of April was a classic example here. Now we're only going to be talking about monthly charts. If I take a look at the weekly charts, you're going to see many other opportunities to have caught part of massive explosive move over the last couple of months. Huge move. Remember, this is a stock trading, let's call it in the 60s, lower 70s at the beginning part of January, now trading as high as 470. That's a huge desirable move. And so in this video, the one thing I just want to emphasize is we need to understand how to appreciate an instrument that pulls back. Now keep in mind, even the pullback that takes place here, the pullback was actually after a very strong move, because it might not seem like much right now because of the current extension, but we can see here we're talking about prices in the, let's call it, lower 70s and touching as high as 175 in about 3 months. So that was in itself a big move, huge move. Okay, now we can also take a look at this from a breakout perspective and say it broke out right here. So either way you look at this, there was a breakout opportunity right here in February. Now understand, this stock was moving while the entire global market was in a huge drop phase. So the stock did great while the market was tanking. Now, as the market recovered, it took a break, and this is the reason for this video. We just need to appreciate that we need only 1 month of rest minimum. So 1 month of rest is the minimum. It can be 100 months, 2 months, 50 months, but the minimum is 1 month. And like I said, there are also other entries on the weekly, but we're not going to cover that in this 1 month rest educational video. And you can see that this stock has been on our breakout candidates, going back to the breakout in March, another breakout in April, another one in May, sent to paid subscribers, another one in August 18th, and just last week we had another breakout alert for the same stock based on timing on the weekly chart. So the stock has given investors multiple opportunities. Now let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, a real life example. All right, let's go and take a look at a weekly chart for this instrument, SPWH, right here. Okay, now if you take a look at the weekly chart, it looks very messy. It's been trading between 1550 and 17 for the most part on a weekly closing basis. So not a lot of action. It might seem that the stock is sideways here. Now this is the weekly chart. I want to show you why, in my opinion, taking a look at the monthly chart adds some type of perspective from time to time that the weekly chart cannot give you. So take a look at this look. Compare this with the monthly chart. What do you see on the monthly chart? On the monthly chart, we definitely 100% can see a fresh, no-nonsense breakout. Does this mean that the stock is going to be trading at 100 in the next 2 days? No. It just means that the opportunity is here. In other words, you don't know the future as far as this stock is concerned, but if it's going to move higher, it needs a breakout. And the monthly chart is providing you a 1 month of rest minimum requirement. And here we can see as we begin the new month, it is moving above July's monthly closing high. So this is how you time this based on a 1 month rest. That's a fresh breakout. Of course, it meets the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe breakout. Links are in the description. Of course, we love it when an instrument shows power, pulls back, while the RSI refuses to drop below 69.1. That's a sign of power. Now, I should have mentioned the previous stock, one of the best performing stocks for 2020, also has been moving higher because along the way, it has been meeting the minimum requirements for the ultimate Muathe break, which is my own researched method, and which is also the main reason why I've had the honor of sending multiple breakouts for the same stock over the last couple of months. All these were timely breakouts, either based on the monthly or based on the weekly, with the initial breakout taking place in March during the first breakout that we were able to capture. So do account for monthly charts. They can give you from time to time better entry levels on a breakout perspective. Now, one thing I should add before I finish this video is this 130 point gain for the day for this stock. 1 day gain up 30%, 40% for the day, one single day, is not coming out of nowhere, to be honest. And put simply, if we take a look at the top 100 stocks in the US prior to today, so before today, we are going to see that even before today, the stock was already one of the best performing stocks in the US market. So leadership continues delivering, which is something I've been talking about over the last couple of weeks. Leaders tend to continue delivering. Momentum begets momentum, which what I'm trying to say is, if you take a look at the other stock I mentioned as an example of what to look for in terms of 1 month of rest, which I repeat here again, just for the sake. 1 month of rest, any breakout above June's monthly closing high makes this a fresh breakout. Now, it doesn't hurt to also know that ZM has been a leader in its sector. Now, of course, if it's one of the leaders in the market, it's going to be one of the leaders in its sector. Now, today's move brings it to the top performing stock in this computer programming data services sector. As of yesterday, I believe it was second or third, but today's move propels it to number 1. Which brings me to my point here. SPWH, Sportsman Warehouse, is also one of the top 100 stocks in the US. So it helps to know how powerful an instrument is. It's, I would say, probably in the top 20s, top 30s best performing stocks in the US. So that's a good indicator of an instrument that we don't know for certain, but at least there's some indication it's been doing well relative to the entire stock market. And like ZM, it also happens to be one of the top performing stocks in the sector being miscellaneous shopping goods. So when an instrument reloads after 1 month of rest, be aware of a potential explosive move, and this move would be shooting it to new all-time highs potentially. Again, this video was about 1 month of rest, and I kind of went on a tangent about making sure we understand the minimum requirements for the breakout, and also the need to make sure the instrument itself has power, has strength, is in a strong group, and it is also one of the leadership stocks in the market. Eric Muathe at Muathe.com. Love and light, light and love. Namaste.